Welcome everybody. This is George Veter, Veter Financial, welcoming you in 2022. As we have the new year, we're just less than 2 weeks into it, and wanted to lend to you my wishes that we have just a wonderful 2022 and give you a little bit of my perspective as we enter this year as market participants. First of all, we had a great year in 2021, above average in returns for a moderate style portfolio that would classify most of the money that I manage. And going into this year, I think we have a lot of things to be optimistic about. We're working our way out of this era of pandemic. We have accelerated consumer spending. We have accelerated earnings still as companies restore themselves from the hit they took with the pandemic. And we have a world that's more free enterprise orientated than it's ever been, and a lot of reasons to be excited. We have a couple of things to keep our eyes on. Obviously, inflation data, because that will determine the necessity of the Fed raising rates and slowing down economic growth, which is one of the possible consequences of rate increases if they're done too far too fast. So that's something that the market will react to. And then we also, of course, have the pandemic news that is a headline risk whenever there's new strains or whatever countries create new protocols to restrict what's happening with the pandemic. And sometimes maybe that's adverse to economic growth, or could be. We'll be watching those two things. I believe at the end of the day, just like every other crisis moment we've had in America, we get through it, we grow, we innovate, we work around, and we keep growing and building. That's been the case of history. I want to just mention to you, it's important that we keep faith in not just what's going on right now, but in the idea of free enterprise and free markets. In order for us to be successful, we have to be optimistic. We have to be pragmatic too. We've got to do it the right way, but we've always got to keep a spirit of optimism, because just like the farmer plants that seed of corn in the ground, he has to wait for nature to do its miracle in order to get the corn plant and the actual head of corn. Well, we can't get it up front. We've got to wait for the process, and then we have to have faith that motivates us to plant that seed and to wait for nature to do its thing, that we trust it will, in order for us to get rewarded for doing our work as a farmer in that scenario. As an investor, it's the same thing. We trust in free enterprise. We trust in the intangible thing that moves markets, right? This desire to build, to innovate, to create the better mousetrap, to build companies that employ people and that make our societies more efficient and make our lives easier, and make the things that we use as appliances now smaller and faster. That evolution of free enterprise based on an incentive program assures me, if it's done in the right way, that it's the best way that we deploy our money to reward us, right, for saving it in the first place. I will be your partner. If you feel low on your optimism and or faith in any moment, please call me so I can lend you some of mine, because I have complete belief in this system. I know there's disruptions and scary moments. At the end of the day, we win doing what we do. So Happy New Year. I look forward to strengthening my relationships with you. Grateful for my staff that helps serve all of you. And I look forward to what's to come. Happy New Year.